We are the higher self of the One, known to this instrument in the language terms as Jody Ray Mayer, also known as Jody Ray Murphy, whose incarnation began on 1964, and we greet you in light and the love of the One Infinite Creator. Therefore, we shall now address and answer the queries which are presented at this timeline, which will enable the entity known as Jody Ray Mayer to understand and accept those thought forms which resonate deeply within the vibratory patterns of its own sense of self. The query, which is in order, relates primarily with the understanding about the aspects of what is its purpose or mission in this incarnation, in this lifetime. We must firstly state that the mission and purpose of the entity in this incarnation is to learn about the vibration of self-awareness of the third density, which will enable it to master the ascension into the new earth of the fourth density pattern of reality, which is primarily activated and in order in this time. It must realize that the vibration of the pattern of experience within the nature of reality will enable it to learn the many lessons about the aspect of realizing that its main purpose in this lifetime is to learn to master the sense of self-awareness and love in the time in order to ascend into the new earth. The other query relates with the vibration of having been vaccinated for COVID-19. Will this prevent it from ascending, or will it interfere in any way with its ascension process? We must firstly state that the answer to this is that the so-called vaccinations do not have any effect on the ascension of an entity. Hence, it must not worry about this aspect, as ascension is a spiritual facet and not a physical aspect as found by your people in the timeline. The other query relates primarily with the vibration of its past lifetimes, as well as its soul's name. For this purpose, we shall now address and answer one of its previous timelines, moving backwards in time from the current space-time of this incarnation. In 1964, it was found prior to this in the location of the lands of Germany, wherein it was known by the name of Frederick. In the space-time of 1820, this entity was able to learn the lessons in that incarnation, primarily trying to master, to overcome the vibration of pride, which was indeed a part and parcel of the lessons for the entity to learn. It was able to overcome the vibration of pride in the timeline, which primarily enabled it to find a greater rhythm of realization that the vibration of pride must be overcome, as it began to feel prideful because its parents were from a wealthy family, and because of this vibration of pride, it was able to then align itself into the aspects of the mastery of the sense of self. Furthermore, this entity was then able to cross over in the space-time illusion complex of around 1899 after learning the lessons of overcoming the distortions of pride. Furthermore, prior to this, it was found in the location of the lands of France, wherein it was known by the name of Christina. As a woman entity in the timeline of 1720, it was able to learn the lesson as a woman entity in the timeline, trying to understand how to overcome excessive vibration of reactivity to the outside world. Its reactions primarily were not of a positive nature, as it reacted with fear, and the emotion of anger was the norm in that timeline. This furthermore led the entity to learn to understand the vibration of expressions in the nature of reality, which furthermore allowed this entity to learn the lessons of overcoming excessive attachments in the timeline. Eventually, this entity was then, after learning the many lessons, able to understand about the vibration of overcoming excessive attachments, and it crossed over in the space-time of 1763, realizing how to balance its emotion was an important facet, and prior to this it was found in the location of the lands of Agartha, or the inner earth planes, wherein its primary focus on the distortion of self-awareness was to learn the lessons of third density. Beginning stage is vibration of mind, body, and spirit complex, and then prior to this the entity was then able to align into the vibration of the expression of the mind, body, and spirit complex in the location of the lands as known by the vibration of the aspect of experience related with the first and second density consciousness. It was found in the planet of Venus at a time of around 904 million years ago, and was known by the soul name of which meant the oneness, or the beingness of the one infinite creator, as it learns the lessons of understanding and alignment in the time. Furthermore, we as the higher self of the entity are always guiding it in this timeline, and we must state that the entity is already on its pathway of ascending into the new earth, as the new earth vibration requires around 51% or higher service to others, which it must achieve. This will allow it to ascend, and we shall now leave you, beloveds. Bye.